Welcome to Vintage Coin Op Restorations and one of our latest projects. Here today we just got in a Williams 1956 crane. It is a novelty game. It's not something you can win, but you would play against your friends to see how much weight you can put into the hopper. When I say weight, we're talking about lentil beans. As you can see, half of them are in here and then half of them were in the crate and half of them were on my floor. But we'll suck all these out and eventually put new ones in here. And what the object of the game is, you basically got, I think it's about 1 minute and 10 seconds or so, about a minute. And what you do is you're controlling the toy, which also is a very sought after toy. Many times I come across these machines and a toy collector got to it before I did. And they got the crane. So here I have an empty carcass. But here, this one is intact. This machine is in original condition with all original graphics. I think this front panel has been replaced. Yeah, someone redid this one. I could still see pencil marks on there. But we have all the original graphics on here, original legs. But it's seen better days. Very tired. You can see the horizontal cracking right here. In fact, someone just put some tape here just to hold it together for now. And you can see that it's separated over here too. And we'll be doing all of this repair. All these cracks, we'll have to pull them apart, re-glue them together. In the back here, again, everything is in original shape. This dump coil, which is usually, even though the paper looks a little old, I could just take it off. The paper is usually on it, but at this point you can see that the coil is still have its green lacquer on there. And I usually come across this coil and it's burnt out, mainly because beans or something gets stuck and this gets locked in the on position and eventually just burns out. But I did check it and it seems to be complete. So we do have the coil working. The timer motor here is also another problem, and we'll take it all apart and rebuild it. You can see also that all the graphics for the expert crane, because that's the whole object of the game. The game is to fill that hopper as much as you can, and you have your weights up on top there, so you'll see how much beans you actually put in there, and they say it's in tons. But there's a limit switch. Somewhere in there, I will play the game and see, I forget where I usually put it at, maybe like 25 tons or so. There's a limit switch, and that switch turns on this light over here, which is the expert crane light. And the limit switch is right behind here. So at a certain point when it gets lifted up, lift down, that little arm comes around and maybe you'll see a little wire there. And when it hits that wire, it should turn on this light. And there, at the end of the game, that light should stay, I believe it stays on for, I think it stays on for a little bit. I'm not sure, but at least that way you can have the proprietor of the place come and you can show them and say, hey, I'm an expert crane operator. And they might say somewhere on the glass, say that you might win a free game. So it's not a free game you're winning your whatever you put in there. So in this case, this coin slide seems to be a quarter. So basically you would win a quarter, or it might tell you you win, 3 tokens, so 3/4. But as you can see, this machine, it's intact. It must have been hidden in a way in some barn or someplace for a really long time. Luckily, there's no water damage, but it has been dry rotted, and that's where you see all this cracking. It's just dry rotted, but it's good to see the veneer. Veneer is in really good shape. We'll detail and clean that up. I don't think we're going to repaint that. I'd like to keep that original. This little bar up here is not original. Hopefully we can get that out, take that off, and we can fill in these holes. I'm sorry, there you go. Fill in the holes, and maybe we'll, people put stickers and stuff here, but maybe we'll have our artists paint up, down, left, right, because it does get confusing. If you don't, for the first time you walk up to and you don't know what these buttons are, that's what you're doing. This here is your left to right. It rotates the motor of the crane to go left to the right. And here is your up button. And it brings the crane up, and when the down, it's not reversing, but it's releasing a brake that's in there, which is usually, by now I'm sure it's already cooked, but we'll put a new it's like a silicone rubber wheel inside there that releases and lets the bucket drop. Another thing about this game that not many people even know, and yeah, at the bottom of the crane and the bucket, there's usually a little needle, and here again you can see it. And what that does, and the magnet's extremely important. You'll see that little round thing in the top. Without that magnet, this crane will never work correctly. And some people find these and they put it on there and they're like, well, why doesn't the bucket open? Well, it doesn't open because it's missing that magnet and that pin. I can see that there's some, it looks like some welding of some sort going in there. We'll try to clean that up and repair it to make sure it's correct. And we'll get back to that. Also, we're gonna have this glass remade. The front glass also, all the instructions, we'll have a new glass made for that. The game light over, tilt light, that whole thing will be redone. The backdrop itself, I love it. We might clean up right above where it says Hopper. We'll probably respray the green and that fire, it's like called like Cherokee Red. We'll have that done. And we will bring this thing back to better than what it used to be. Also, the paint here, it's not a smooth paint. It's you can actually feel it. It's got like a grit or a texture to it, and we will replicate that in our restoration with the original graphics. You'll also see that there's a metallic gold striping that wraps around the machine. And that obviously at this time is completely gone and doesn't have any shimmer to it, but we use an opalescent gold paint, and it really comes out good. So stay tuned while we give this crane a facelift, and follow us on Facebook or YouTube, and you'll see this machine back to its original glamour. Again, if you have this machine for sale or you need one restored, please contact us. We're located in Chicago, Illinois. Phone number is area code 630-624-7466. Thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe to my channel so you can see all the new machines coming to the warehouse. Thanks for watching.